It's not enough for me to take up the habit of going to the gym and working out if I don't also observe the other habits around my body. If I don't also observe, like, every night before I go to bed, I have a bowl of ice cream and a chocolate chip cookie. maybe that's part of why I don't feel so good in my body. Right? You see, they can't exist as an island. We have to, as mindfulness practitioners, bring our mindfulness practice to everything. And that's not easy. I've been practicing mindfulness for over 20 years, and there are still little dark corners inside me, right? Little sneaky, dusty places where the light of my loving attention, right, still doesn't get very well, right? Still can't get into. I'm getting better at knowing where those places are. I'm getting better at knowing, like, ooh, this terrible, uncomfortable feeling and this strangely self-assured thought. This comes from there. This comes from that dark little place that I just can't get my hand in to clean. I can't find the right angle yet to shine the light on it. So I'm getting better at that, at seeing the influence that those blind spots, those dark places, are blind spots that they have in my life. But I have by no means eradicated them all. And so today I want to talk about the perspective that I bring to that kind of practice, and hopefully it'll help you understand what we're attempting to do here. So I want you to imagine a person, like, walking through a city, like a tourist, and they have a camera, but instead of wearing this, digital SLR, picture like a big, beautiful camera, right? Instead of wearing it around their neck, they have it in front of their face the entire time, right? So they're looking through the viewfinder of the camera the whole time. And this is how they're experiencing the city, right? Now, in this scenario, I want you to imagine that they don't really know how to use the camera. They don't understand its mechanics. It's got all these buttons and dials and the settings, and they don't know how it works. And so they're wandering around having this very strange, right? Very affected experience of this new city. Because sometimes what they're looking at is in focus, and sometimes it's not. And sometimes they're zooming really far away, but they don't know it. Sometimes they have the lens cap on, they can't see anything. Right? Sometimes they've pushed the wrong button and they're looking at the past. And they're looking at shots they took earlier, but they don't know it. So doesn't that sound horrible? Like, doesn't that sound like such a difficult way to get through the day? This is a life without some kind of mindfulness. Right? We're experiencing all of this through a lens. Right? It's right here. It's this. This is the camera. Everything, the whole world as we know it, is coming at us through the six senses, as it's sometimes called, right? The five physical senses: sight, smell, touch, etc. And then the sixth sense being our consciousness. So if it doesn't come through one of those doors, then we don't know it exists. It's not in our reality. There's plenty of stuff that is real that we now know through science doesn't come through one of those doors. But in our everyday life, like in our tangible experience of the world, we're just experiencing what comes through the camera, right? What comes into the body, what triggers the nervous system, what fires neurons. And yet, I think most of us, myself included, like didn't get a lot of training in how to operate the camera and how to adjust the settings. And so we wonder why we're having this kind of disjointed, often confusing and self-contradicting experience of the world around us. Why is it so hard? And it's because we're that tourist in our own lives, looking through this camera that we don't really know how it works.